What's the deal, baby? Y'all know this the big boss, South Boss Dog K-Po through the dope. Here to talk this boxing. So, we're talking about Errol Spence today. And I've been noticing that a lot of people have been picking Errol Spence to lose this fight against Terence Crawford. So we finna talk about it, man, because this is crazy. But this energy, like I say, this energy, y'all gonna get another performance. Y'all see what he did to Ugas when y'all was doubting him. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that'll happen to Terence, but I'm just saying don't be surprised if he come in there and looking to break something and do break something. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying going into this fight. You know? But we're going to talk about also what Roy Jones Jr., Paulie Malignaggi, and Antonio Tarver said about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. So they were breaking down the fight. They were trying to basically talk about who's going to win this fight. I mean, this is a big fight. You know, you don't get fights like this where there's two fighters, African-American fighters, who are both undefeated in their prime, fighting, you know, who are both dogs, who are both tough, fighting for all the belts. You know, mainly these type of fights happen after the fact, after somebody's out of their prime. Now, me personally, I feel like Terence Crawford is in his prime, but he's at the tail end of it. That's just my opinion. I feel like Errol Spence is in the middle of his prime, but he's heading also out. You see what I'm saying? It's the arrows is heading that way. You get what I mean? Roy Jones Jr. says that Errol Spence is a pressure cooker fighter, which we can agree with that. But he says Errol Spence does not have one-punch knockout power, which I agree with that. He also stated that against Terence, you know, he said Terence Crawford, he's seen many different styles. He's in different ways that Terence Crawford can win a fight. You know, he said Terence can box, Terence can bang, Terence can, you know, in which they kind of gave Terence all this praise, but said Errol Spence can beat you only one way, which I kind of disagree with that. Errol Spence boxed Mikey Garcia. The same Mikey Garcia that everybody picked to beat him, Errol Spence. Okay? If you go back to that fight, the same fighter that even Roy Jones Jr. tried to use to say, hey, Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia, and he didn't stop Mikey Garcia. He don't have power like that because he didn't stop Mikey Garcia. And the same fight that everybody tries to use to say that Errol Spence is not as powerful, you know, so he's not going to hurt Terence Crawford. I wholeheartedly disagree. And here's why. And we're going to keep going after this, but here's why I disagree. Mikey Garcia, for starters, was hurt in that fight numerous times. There were rounds he did not throw a punch. He just shelled up. Okay? Mikey Garcia, and I don't know if people know this. Mikey Garcia sparred against Manny Pacquiao back in the day, and another famous Hispanic fighter who hit hard and who were in their prime. So Mikey Garcia knows how to survive, okay, without getting knocked out, okay? So when you look at from that aspect, he got hurt. The body shots was hurting him, and he was like, "I'm not gonna get knocked out. I'm just gonna shell up and survive." That's what it boiled down to, and that's what he did. Okay, his brothers were gonna stop the fight. He begged his brothers not to stop the fight, and the ref not to stop the fight. Okay, if y'all go back and watch that fight, there was a conversation, and Mikey Garcia told him, "No, don't stop the fight. If I'm gonna go, let me go out on my shield," which I honor that. You know what I mean? But Errol Spence said before that fight, I'm gonna beat Mikey Garcia in his own game, which everybody said Mikey Garcia is the more superior boxer. He's smarter, he's better. Sugar Ray Leonard said, couldn't even give an accurate reason why Errol Spence would beats Mikey Garcia. He just said Mike is Mikey. That's what he said. He didn't say, hey, I think that Errol Spence will win because this, or I think Errol Spence will lose because of this. He just said because it's Mikey. So it's stuff like that that baffles my mind, that y'all keep doubting this dude. And this dude keeps showing y'all, and he just keeps showing y'all that he that nigga, like he that dude, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know what else he got to do. But let's go on. Roy Jones kind of gave Errol Spence credit and said, hey, if he fights his fight, he'll beat Terence. But he doesn't believe that will happen because of the different wrinkles that Terence Crawford has. And for that statement, I can respect that. But Roy Jones has some type of issue with Errol Spence because he's always picked against Errol Spence, regardless of the fight. I think he picked against Errol Spence in the Ugas, this last fight. Okay? The Pacquiao fight, he picked against him. And I think he also said that Errol Spence, he questioned Errol Spence's eye injury. You know what I mean? I think he did. If I'm wrong, let me know. But he did that. You see what I'm saying? So, Roy Jones, I don't know what it is. I don't know if Errol Spence slapped his daughter. I don't know what's going on. But Roy Jones Jr. do not like Errol Spence. Okay? Antonio Tarver, he picked Terence Crawford because he states he sees a lot of himself in Terence Crawford. Okay? And he sees the skill. As if Errol Spence don't have no skill. This is stuff I'm talking about. They basically look at Errol Spence as a rock'em sock'em fighter. That's what they look at him as. They don't see the skill. They don't see how he systematically broke down Ugas. They don't see how he systematically broke down Kell Brook. How the little things he's doing on fight when he fights on the inside. How he's slipping punches and rolling and go jabbing to the body. And he's setting punches up, having dudes run straight into his left or run into a hook. He may throw that straight left, and the dude may weave it and roll into the right hook. They don't see stuff like that. They just look at Errol Spence as a rock'em sock'em fighter. And I'm not sitting here saying that they're wrong for picking Terence Crawford, because at the end of the day, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. This is one of those fights where you can't just wholeheartedly just pick one person. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I feel like Errol is better than Terence Crawford. But I do understand and see why somebody would pick Terence Crawford to beat Errol Spence. Okay? The only person I agree with on the podcast was Paulie Malignaggi. Well, like I said, I see what Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver were saying. I can see, as when they talked about the skill level of Terence Crawford, I respect that. And that's what I'm saying. When y'all break down these fights, man, for y'all Terence Crawford, y'all diehard Terence Crawford fan, because I'm a Terence Crawford fan. I like Terence Crawford. I watch all his fights. But what I'm saying is systematically break the fight down. You got dudes that come on here and say some reckless stuff. You know what I mean? But anyway, back on topic. Paulie Malignaggi basically stated, hey, Errol Spence used that jab and use those body shots to break you down. Your legs go. You get tired. Now you fighting on toughness. And you don't want to fight on toughness against this guy. Now, I'm not saying Terence Crawford is not tough. Okay? Terence Crawford is tough. But you don't want to fight on toughness against another elite fighter. You want to be in shape. You want to be able to still be able to use skill. You get what I mean? And you can't sit there and just rely on, I'm tough. I can beat this dude because I'm tough too. It's not going to work. And I said that in my fight prediction. I said, if Bud start trying to rely on him, I'm tough and I'm a dog and all that, they're going to stop him. That's just what I feel. And that's kind of what Paulie Malignaggi was saying. Bud going to have to box Errol and use those wrinkles that, they was talking about. You know what I mean? But I see a lot of people doubting Errol Spence. Everybody is doubting this dude. Everybody is saying he can't beat Terence Crawford. And hopefully Terence Crawford is not allowing this to get to his head, because this may make him come into this fight underestimating Errol Spence. Because let everybody else tell it, Terence Crawford is leaps and bounds better than Errol Spence. Let everybody else tell it, Terence Crawford has done more in the sport at 147 than Errol Spence. Let everybody else tell it, Terence Crawford will dominate Errol Spence. I don't think that. For starters, Errol Spence has done more at 147 than Terence Crawford. Okay? We're just going to be real. We don't need to go on the resume. Just, it is what it is. I mean, we don't need to talk about it. It's concrete. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Errol Spence has fought the more tougher fights. Fights that he ain't favored to win. And he beat the brakes off of them. All Terence Crawford fights, he's favored to win. He ain't fought one fight at 147 you be like, I don't know. This is his first fight, in my opinion. But he ain't fought the fights that Errol Spence has fought. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. I think Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is underestimating Errol Spence. I think Terence Crawford feel like he finna come. He ain't gonna need to train hard. He just gonna come into this fight. Let me beat this nigga up real quick. And he gonna get in there. He gonna see it's real. So then he gonna see it's real. By that time, it's too late. So he gonna try to be tough. So Errol gonna hit him with a hard shot, and Bud gonna abandon the game plan and try to get on some tough guy stuff. And Errol gonna stop him, and that's gonna be the end of it. Now, granted, just cause I think Bud gonna lose, don't make me think that Bud's not a great fighter. You know, we need to get away, and I've said this in previous videos, we need to get away from the aspect of, because a fighter takes a loss, they're a bad fighter. If Errol Spence loses to Bud Crawford, don't mean that he a bad fighter. Bud just was the superior fighter. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But in my opinion, I feel like Bud is biting off more than he could chew. That's just me, in my opinion, my viewpoint on the matter. I feel like he's biting off more than he could chew. And I feel like him and his team don't look at Errol Spence as an elite fighter. They look at him as just a regular dude that they finna destroy. Because what did Bomac say? Bud finna beat the F out of Errol Spence. That's what they said. Everybody on his team, even Shakur Stevenson, they feel like Errol Spence is not on that level of Terence Crawford. Everybody feels that way. So I'm telling you, keep doubting this boy. Because I'm telling you, what's going to happen is, it's going to be one of those performances where Errol Spence going to beat the doors off that. I'm telling you. And this is just not an opinion. This is, each time Errol Spence has been doubted like this, he coming to these fights on a different agenda, on a different, he on 45,000. This Ugas fight, everybody was doubting him. Saying this stuff, oh, Ugas gonna beat him and all this other stuff. He used that. And then he came in here, locked in, focused. He even wore the black Air Force Ones. If I'm him, I wear the black Air Force Ones to the weigh-in of the Terence Crawford fight too. I'm telling you, man, this dude here, he gonna stop Bud. At first, when I broke down this fight, I was like, it's gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be close, because I feel like Bud is allowing the chatter of what everybody is saying to get in his head. I don't think he think Errol Spence is a good fighter. I don't believe that. I think he think Errol Spence is trash. That's what I think. I think he think this finna be easy. I 100% believe that. But we'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Bud and his team is underestimating Errol Spence? Let me know. Boss gone.